Good morning to you, good morning. Oh dear, what is it today? Friday, we know that much, and it's Friday the 13th of October 2023. Yeah, things to do today, always things to do. It's a sort of superstitious tradition that Friday the 13th can bring us bad luck. Well, what could possibly go wrong today? I suppose there's plenty of opportunities for things to go wrong, but that's true of every day. So let's not worry about it being Friday the 13th. Let's instead think about the joys that we have got. I started the morning with watching Richard Peake playing his banjo. And he was singing Amazing Grace. I think that's a better thing to think about than the possibility of bad luck on Friday the 13th. Yes, amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Anyway, I'm going to, well, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to drink a cup of tea because it's not really light enough yet to start doing anything. Not quite yet. Well, Friday the 13th or not, we've carried on. Not finished, but it's not the only thing that I've got to do. Some time ago, one of you asked the question, how am I going to get to the wall behind the vine? Well, vines are pretty resilient plants. They are used to being cut back and pulled about and what have you. So what I've done a little bit of this morning is I removed the wire that was all hanging on. Now, when I say removed, it didn't take a lot of removing. It was very old, very rusty. And that has allowed me to lay the vine down on my stack of firewood. So I can get at that wall there. First job with that wall is to push some show into the worst bits and then get some render on it. So that's going to be what I'll be doing after lunch. And of course I'm not allowed to have lunch until everyone else has had theirs. Well, there we are. First coat of varnish. And of course on a job like this, you apply a coat of varnish and then you rub it down again, because the first coat brings up some of the grain, and to get the sort of finish that I want on this, it's going to be 5 or 6 coats of varnish, lightly sanded between each coat with the finest sandpaper I've got. I think the finest I've got is 120 grit. But there we are. Right. Let's see what we can do to make this even more beautiful than it is. That's a little bit better than the rough board it came out of, isn't it? Well, good morning to you. Monday, which I think is the 16th of October 2023. And yeah, we've got a traffic jam. if you want to eat, you can't complain about traffic jams caused by combine harvesters. And he's obviously moving from one job to another, or one job back to his home depot, whichever. He's got his van on a trailer, and the only thing to do is just drive slowly behind him. There's no way that I'm going to be able to overtake until he turns off, basically. As we pass the fire station, the French tricolour is flying at half-mast. Some of you will have seen some world news, and in the north of France, a school, I'll say teacher, professor doesn't really equate to what most of us think of as a professor. Professor normally is just a teacher. I say just, I don't know how good a teacher he was, but he was murdered by what seems to be a Chechen terrorist. Now I say seems to be because, of course, the agencies that investigate these things will be playing with the facts and the data for some time to establish exactly who and what this man was and why he did the awful thing that he did. This chap going? Good, he's going down the main road, which means that I can now resume navigation. And get back to the business in hand. Well, sadly, only background noise is provided by the French Air Force. We just had 2 fighters go over here. I didn't see them. They were low and they were fast. As in fast, not just passing through. I wonder what that was about. Oh, good morning to you all. What is it today? The 18th of October 2023. Those of you that follow such things will know that today is the memorial of Saint Luke the Evangelist. Luke, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, bless this bed that I lay on. Luke the Evangelist, sometimes called Dr. Luke. But yes, it's the day that we should be thinking about him, his life, his works. We also might be thinking about doing some shopping. I don't usually go shopping on a Wednesday, but as you can see, we've got a few drips of rain, and the weather forecast promises that it's going to get a lot wetter through the course of the day. So I've got no great plans for doing much work today. This afternoon, of course, I shall be playing Scrabble with the old ladies, who no doubt will teach me some strange words that perhaps are not the words we should use in church. And I know that I haven't got to cook dinner tonight because Nicole, the lady whose house we will be playing in, will be cooking crêpe. You know, crepes, for those of you that speak English. Which reminds me, one of the things I've got to get today, I've got to get a lemon and citron. She uses the eggs from her own hens, and the other day when I went shopping, I got her some flour. So that will be a pleasant end to the day. I'm not even going to think about passing this tractor and trailer on this road. It just ain't going to happen, is it? It's an interesting looking trailer. That's obviously a wood trailer. Wonderful Charolais. The camera running. Normally the next field is some Limousin cattle. That's assuming that they're out here in the rain. It's not rain, it's just the odd drip. Behind me, so we can slow down and we can look. Yeah. Hamburgers on the hoof.